The film begins in a mine run by a herd of rams. One of them is confronted by the horrific sight of the long-dead Tai Lung, Ian McShane. He attacks and destroys the mine, causing the rams to retreat.
Great dragon.
Poe is fine.
What if he's sick?
And that Poe, ceremony. What ceremony? Door to the spirit realm. And now, macaque. Crane was crowned king of the Kraken. Doesn't mean they're not here as life-sized. He really to the Jade Palace.
Tai Lung then proclaims that no one can stop him now, including the Dragon Warrior. In the Valley of Peace, Mr. Ping, James Hong and Li Shan, Bryan Cranston manage Ping's restaurant together, but Ping is concerned about Poe, Jack Black. The Dragon Warrior is fighting a flying stingray beside the lake and takes to the air to confront his new nemesis. Poe defeats the stingray and saves the 3 pigs it ate. Poe returns to the valley, where Shifu, Dustin Hoffman attempts to communicate with him about something essential. Poe instead attends the grand opening of a new restaurant named after his heroic achievements, but Shifu insists on speaking with him.
I thought it was awesome, right? You? Find you! Staff of Wisdom.
The Dragon Warrior.
Master Ostrich's egg!
It's kind of creepy.
They proceed to the Jade Palace, where Shifu informs Poe that he must train a new Dragon Warrior in order to succeed as the Valley of Peace's spiritual leader. Poe is forced to watch various candidates demonstrate their abilities, but he refuses to select anybody but himself. Shifu then instructs Poe to meditate in order to prepare for the search for a successor. Moments later, Poe notices a fox named Zhen, Awkwafina, slipping into the Hall of Heroes. He finds her attempting to steal something before using Oogway's Staff of Wisdom to combat her. Zhen employs her own devious ways to knock Poe on his buttocks and attempt to steal the staff, but the Dragon Warrior stops her and arrests her. While carrying Zhen to prison, Poe is approached by the Rams, who all hurriedly inform him that Tai Lung has returned.
Especially when the one do. I have something special in mind.
No!
Stabbing and the blatant.
Pushed you too far.
Almond cookie?
You're just gonna...
The truth is, I'm kind of...
Has finally met his match, but the head worrying doesn't make the
Just a boat ride away.
Sounds inviting.
Well,
The stakes are high.
can I...
Captain. Thanks.
Poe is taken aback, but proceeds to inspect the mine, seeing that Tai Lung's paw prints have changed to tiny ones in the snow. Poe visits Zhen's cell to ask her what she knows, and she reveals him that this is the work of the chameleon, a shape-shifting sorceress, Viola Davis. Zhen persuades Poe to let her go so that she may help him find the chameleon, despite Shifu's reservations about trusting a thief. Everyone in the valley becomes terrified as word spreads about the chameleon. Ping and Li strive not to worry about Poe until they both break down and acknowledge they are afraid for his life, at which point they band together and embark on their own trip to help their kid. In Juniper City, various criminal leaders express their dissatisfaction at having to give the chameleon a big amount of their revenue. They are horrified to discover that she is among them in disguise before introducing herself. Chameleon transforms into an elephant and pushes one of the bosses down the stairs in response to the disrespect she believes she is receiving, before increasing their portion of revenues.
While you were asleep. Steal whatever you want to...
Perfect before.
You don't have rush hour in the... How? How? How'd you know?
Man, what? You're a wanted... Morning, officers. Wait.
Back up.
Poe and Zhen draw near to Juniper City, but must cross a vast lake to get there. When they enter the Happy Bunny Tavern, they discover a gang of thuggish animals. While Po searches for a method to travel to the city, Zhen plays mahjong with the customers and earns their money before ordering a large amount of food. When it is found that Zhen cheated, the tavern's boss, Granny Boar, Lori Tan Chin, orders the goons to go for Po and Zhen. This poses an issue because the bar is perched on the edge of a cliff. Po and Zhen fight their way past the criminals, with Po using the staff to unleash a strong blast, before falling out the pub window and onto a boat piloted by Captain Fish, Ronnie Chiang, who lives inside his seagull mother's mouth. They begin to transport Po and Zhen to the city. When Po arrives, he discovers that Zhen is a wanted criminal, and he is detained with her. She swiftly breaks him out, causing the guards to chase them around the city before Zhen slips them to a subterranean area she refers to as the den, where she used to dwell. The boss, Han, Kiwi Kwan, is not pleased to see Zhen leave them, and the rest of the occupants are a bunch of thieves who like doing nasty things.
I know I promised that I'd lead you right to the chameleon.
Supposed to remind me that every pit holds, leader once said. How may...
Sorry.
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 But others cannot. Come on.
Po!
Stand back.
They are able to hide there for a little time, and Po continues to attempt to teach Zhen how to do good, before Han throws them out. Po and Zhen then make their way to the chameleon's palace. They try to sneak via a rear entrance silently, but as Po farts, they accidentally wake up the Komodo dragon guards. Then they have to navigate a series of traps before making their way inside. A cage then falls on Po, and he tries to get Zhen to assist prop it up with the staff, only for Zhen to return and disclose that she was the chameleon's apprentice who deceived Po into handing her the staff. She had taken Zhen in off the streets after spotting potential in her stealing abilities. Given that Po's tiny stature prevented her from learning Kung Fu, the chameleon intends to use the staff to unlock the spirit realm and take the essence of the departed Kung Fu instructors and adversaries. The chameleon wants to take over China and spread her criminal empire by stealing as much power as she can. Po battles additional guards after breaking through the floor and reaching the bridge. Though the chameleon disguises herself as Zhen in order to mislead Po and hurl him off a bridge, Ping and Li make it to the city in time to save him. Po tells his parents he's disappointed by Zhen's deception, and they urge him to continue the task. Then they witness the guards of Chameleon hauling enormous cages inside the palace. The doorway to the spirit realm is opened by the chameleon using the staff. The first person out is Tai Lung, who expresses shock that Chameleon has obtained Oogway's personnel. He then employs the same fury he had in life to clean the floor with Chameleon's guards, but the chameleon traps him in the cage by using her tongue to suck his essence and then attacking him with nerve assaults.
Please be reasonable.
You're alive! For good. You want me to move? Move me. One thing right. Nothing I can do to talk you out of it?
Let him come here. We are such a...
Let him go in there.
She then goes on to call forth other evildoers, including General Kai and Lord Shen. Zhen tries to stop Po from killing himself as he crosses the bridge in an attempt to get back inside the palace. After a brief altercation, Zhen gives Po a hug and apologizes for tricking him. After making amends, they accompany Ping and Li to the den in an attempt to persuade Han and the others to join the battle, but their agreement is based only on the opportunity to commit violence. After taking the bad guys and Kung Fu Master's essences and imprisoning them, the chameleon is ready to take over the world. Po and Zhen were able to re-enter Chameleon when the bandits defeated the guards outside. Once they return to the chameleon, she transforms into a monster mix of all the people she has confined, forcing Po to battle his old foes once again before taking on the shapes of everyone she has freed, which soars Po and Zhen to the top. After they bring her back to Earth, she transforms into a malevolent version of Po, forcing him to kick his own behind. After capturing Po, the chameleon gives Zhen the staff and persuades her that she possesses the ability to utilize it. Zhen battles the chameleon and defeats her by calling out the same Dragon Chi energy from before using the staff. She tries one more attempt, but Po hits her over the head with the staff after taking it back. The masters of Kung Fu are let free. Tai Lung confronts his opponent and acknowledges that Po is a more skilled fighter than he first thought. After giving Po the fist and palm greeting, Tai Lung, Shen, Kai, and all the other masters send everyone back, with Tai Lung snatching the chameleon and taking her with him. Po then unlocks the portal to the spirit realm. Zhen returns with Po, Li, and Ping to the Valley of Peace, where she voluntarily surrenders to go to jail and then turn her life around. However, Po takes her to the Jade Palace to train her to become the next Dragon Warrior. When Shifu objects, Zhen begins to doubt her ability to become the Dragon Warrior. However, Po reassures her that Ping once said that sometimes the best dish comes from the most unlikely ingredients. Zhen consents to accompany Po, and in the meanwhile, Shifu goes to meditate under the peach tree. It is shown that the tree he planted in the first film, prior to Oogway's death, is beginning to thrive. The Furious Five, who had left for their own adventures, join Po during the credits to assist in training Zhen, although she ultimately fails just as badly as Po did at the beginning.